Good morning, good morning. It is time for another weekly weave where I look at the universal energy through the week through the lens of tarot. You can probably hear me shuffling my notes in the background. And it is morning and I look like a sea hag, so you get to stare at the coffee cup. And words are hard. So let's get started. That's a great combination. Need more coffee. So the 11th of May, we vibrate to a 25-7, and that's symbolized by the Knight of Wands. So we are going to be more sensitive to the world around us, more perceptive to friends and family today. We might read the room a little better, which is good because when you have a 25 day showing up with a 9, an 11, and a 14 running in the background, nobody is interested in your bullshit. It will not be accommodated. So it's also a good time. The energy supports having honest talks about your feelings or concerns. And your thinking can be overwhelmed by small issues on that day. So if this is you, step back, take a pause, resist the urge to jump right in like this night does. However, wear your feelings on the outside like this night does. Now, on the 12th, we vibrate to a collective 26-8, and that is symbolized by the Page of Wands. So patience is a theme of today, and your ability to perceive is going to continue. So you're able to work more diligently on your own goals. Deferred results are going to be a theme. So if something feels like it's not coming together fast enough, that's normal. Don't push it. Don't force it. And remember, the 26 is symbolized by the page, and pages are learners. So I find that where this page shows up and where the 26 vibration shows up, there might be challenges to how you do things, and it might feel like everyone is against you and like everybody has an opinion. You know that you're not 12, and you may have to enforce a little boundary here or there, and that's the root vibration for this day is the 8. So you may have to, cut a few people off in as nice a way as you can, and remind them that you do know what you're doing. Work on the home is well supported on the 12th, and so is taking care of your own physical needs. So this is a good day for beautification, the 26-8 transit. So, putting some pictures up on the walls, maybe changing out the tablecloths or the curtains, going and getting a haircut, getting your nails done. Those are all good things to do to support that energy. It's also a good day to unite people and, have them over for dinner. 2 likes connections, and so does 6. So invite people over for dinner. Maybe have a board game. Have fun. But, it reduces to 8, so keep it under budget. Now, on the 13th, we vibrate to a collective 27-9, which is symbolized by the Ace of Wands. 27 is an interesting 9 vibration because 9s are about wrapping things up and endings. 27 is the end of a phase. So showing up like this as a day vibration, it's going to be the end of a minor phase. So it is the end of a minor 9-day cycle, but you probably might find that you're wrapping things up, or at the very least in the collective, that we are taking care of something on this day. And if you think of 27, you think of things like the 27 Club. That's usually in the pop culture consciousness. Numerology measures time in 27-year blocks of time, similar to Saturn returns. So look at today as being a very short, sharp version of that energy. And you'll probably feel very strong, given the influences running in the background, especially the fact that we're in a 9 universal year that's ruled, 9 is ruled by Mars. You're going to be feeling strong. You're going to be feeling pretty vigorous. Find an outlet for that. You can have a really good effect on people if you live by example today, but not if you push, because everybody's feeling the same energy. And the Ace of Wands is some pretty forward thrust energy, and it can get very aggressive very quickly. My advice for the collective May 13th, 14th, and 15th is to try to avoid crowds. And if somebody's trying to pick a fight with you, try to take the high road and walk the other way. Your ambitions can be well fed on the 13th, and they can reflect a need to get ahead. And like I said, the flip side to this vibration is aggressiveness and the mob mentality. Your sensitivity to surroundings on the 27-9 day is going to be greatly increased, mainly because we're going to be experiencing that 11 triad running in the background. And you might find yourself soaking up others' energy like a sponge. And where we have 11 transits, even though this is kind of a middle ground influence, it's not direct, there's a lot of that encourages public behaviors. That's why I'm saying if somebody picks a fight with you or gets snippy on the 13th, just walk the other way. On the 14th, we vibrate to a collective 28-1. And that is symbolized by the Two of Wands. So there's an opportunity to take on more responsibility that day. And that's greatly, saying yes to things is supported. And this could lead to future benefits and recognition. So 28's usually a pretty good vibration for bringing in wealth. If you work with numbers magically, 28 is good for that. If you were to look at a database of millionaires and billionaires, you're going to see a lot of them born on the 28th. And you're going to see a lot of them who have life paths that add up to 28 before they add up to 1. It's the sort of vibration that brings a lot, but you have to put the effort in first, and you have to be patient and trust that during a 28 vibration, you can't see everything that's going on. You just have to trust that things are happening. So your place in things might be tested as well on the 14th. All the numbers support that. Ambition is still being reflected, and you might just have to dig in and straighten your crown a little bit on that day. Domestic issues could also be front and center during a 28 vibration, especially if you have overspent on, say, the 26th or the 27th. You were feeling the energy and spent a little bit much. The other thing that can happen in a 28 vibration is things that are circling your periphery. They haven't quite arrived yet. They can kind of take a step in the door and then step back out again. So you'll get a taste of what's going on or what's to come. Old issues can also cycle back as well. And if you're called to task on that day, again, straighten up your crown, own your part, and try not to let people push your buttons, because it's kind of that sort of week. On the 15th, we vibrate to a 29-11 collectively, which is symbolized by the Three of Wands. Oh, I need more coffee. Losing my voice. It's a sure sign I need more coffee. It's a good time to work with others, and it's a good time to cooperate. If you're working by yourself on the 15th, you might be fighting upstream. It's a day to get clear on your objectives, and it could be a period of uncomfortable growth if things are reflected back to you that you don't like. The 29-11 vibrations can be dramatic and loud. 11 loves a crowd, so we have an 11 day and an 11 triad running in the background. And 11 loves an audience, they love a crowd. And 11 is a vibration that loves publicity. So things tend to, things can be uncomfortable on 11 days. But they also tend to bring pretty good rewards. If you can suffer through it, breathe your way through it. And like I said, because of the energies going on this week, it can be a little bitey for some of us. So again, breathe, smooth out your pants, and walk away if you have to. Today is also going to support letting go of something to move forward. It might too, because it is the Three of Wands, because it is a 2911, because it's, in a 9-year with an 11 triad. Even though we have the lovely 14-5 here telling us to be nice, it is a good day to support being a willful little bugger. I use that power for good. That's all I can say. Try not to fly off the handle. Keep things light. On the 16th, we vibrate to a 30, which reduces to 3, and that's symbolized by the Four of Wands. This day supports business and commercial ventures, and we're moving from the 20s into the 30s, so we're less likely to lead with our hearts and get all wound up about things. And we're approaching, well, this is a more stable wand. So, this day supports business and commercial ventures. It supports negotiations, and it's an optimistic vibration. It's a good day to deal with authority. And if you have to sign anything, it's a good day for that. It's a great day for achievement, to be able to move forward. Overreach can happen if you don't slow down or watch your head. So again, just be mindful of your surroundings and be mindful of your activities. And if you find that you're starting to babble, just rein yourself back in, much like I'm trying to do today. New possibilities can show themselves on the 16th, and travel is supported. The big picture on that day becomes a lot bigger. And so we're better able to connect the dots now that we're moving through the 30s. On the 17th, we vibrate to a 31-4, which is symbolized by the Five of Wands. So this is a bit of an impulsive day. We're not patient with restrictions, and we're likely to want to, skive off work, and it's not a big deal. On this particular day, the energy actually supports chopping things up into little bits and not trying to do the whole thing at once. Peer pressure can cause a little bit of upheaval on that day, particularly if you can't adapt to something changing in either work or in your social circles. If an opportunity to duck out or do something different presents itself, take it. Okay, the world expanding vibe from the day before is going to continue. So if your ability to view the big picture is growing and suddenly you see an opportunity that you didn't see before, take it. And that's all I got, folks. So remember, as you move forward in life, let shit unfold and be excellent to each other.